We're checking into Psyck.
Psyck.
Yo, check it out. It's a sick discussion.
You tuned in to Sick Discussions. You are now listening to a Sick Discussion.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Sick Discussion.
666.
As always, it's your boy, Reggie So Dope.
What up, it's Devin.
What's going on, y'all? This Marv.
And we have a really
Drum
dope
roll.
guest with us today. In the basement, we got my one of my best friends, one of my good homies, Joseph in the building. Woo! We're gonna work on the sound effects. Cut it out. Cut it out. Yo, this is like the first episode. We got cups out, so this is gonna be. As you see, this is a different type of episode.
Devin can't relate. He like cups.
My cup's in the the assistant, over there. Somebody
It's
got
gonna
it.
digitally put it up here. But Joseph, yo, what's up? How you feeling?
I'm really happy to be here.
Oh,
That's
we're
what's
so
up.
glad
That's
you're
what's up.
here.
First thing that comes to mind.
For the people who may not know you, like, what do you do?
Okay. Well, I am actually a year off of finishing my master's in clinical mental health.
Oh,
So about 8 months, minus like practicum and stuff. So I plan to do some family counseling. I'm actually looking over some stuff to go into CPS. So I want to do that as well. And then private practice. Outside of that, I do have a leadership consulting business, Joseph Clark and Company,
Period.
where I teach people how to think differently. So that can be applicable in whatever field of influence you're in. I think that if you think differently, you can produce differently.
Oh,
And I think that sustainability should be what we're all striving for. So I'm taking principles from the kingdom as well as from a theoretical place.
see what kind
Okay,
of episode we have.
I told y'all, Joseph.
Hey,
gonna
have a
great episode.
play.
Throw them horns.
Let me get my mic right.
Go crazy.
Since last season, Joseph's like, I need to be a guest on the podcast. And I was like, we're gonna make it work, whatever. And then we did again. So when am I gonna be a guest on the podcast?
He's been waiting for this moment to shine. He was waiting.
I wasn't fronting my move at all. I was just asking.
Ironically enough, we were planning out the guest episodes, and me and Joseph was texting, and I was like, "You want to be a guest on the podcast?"
And I didn't even have to ask.
Say less.
And it's perfect. This episode is perfect for you. And so with that being said, we're gonna get into it. And so today I want us to dive a bit into self-esteem. With it being seasonal depression, it's still gonna be the winter when this episode releases. By this point though, Christmas may be over, so some people may have not received gifts. It's just whatever the case it is, we're gonna be going through some shit. All right, and so with that, we don't really know just how much the world affects the way we view ourselves and our space in it.
Mhm.
And so we're going to look into that
Okay.
right now. So the very first question is, what the fuck is self-esteem?
I'm done. And
What's
I'm
fucking
done.
self-esteem? What is it? Y'all opinions, perspectives. What is
I saw
self-esteem?
Joseph's eyes light up. I'm gonna let him go first.
Yeah, we left
I was definitely gonna say so. He's
Go
like,
first.
Dr.
go ahead,
Joseph
go ahead,
in the
go ahead.
building.
I was. I don't want to tell you not to say that, but I've been going through some things. I'm thinking about it. So,
Oh, because I just spoke it on your life, so it's happening.
Manifestation.
there's that on that. So self-esteem. The first thing that comes to mind is perspective. I'm a very reflective person intrinsically, as well as like, oh, let me step back and take a look at how I'm affecting the people that I'm around or how I'm impacting the spaces that I'm in. So I think perspective when I think about self-esteem.
Okay. So for me, of course, like outside influence your self-esteem, but just keeping it all in-house is how you view yourself. Like you said, perspective, like how you view like, your like worthiness, your confidence about yourself. If you can, like certain abilities you have, just your self-respect. So like you're not going to tolerate certain things if you have a high self-esteem. So just like the way, like you said, your perspective on yourself, honestly.
Ooh, well, I ain't got much to add on
No
to that.
parsley?
So I ain't got
No
parsley
parsley?
at all. I
Okay.
don't know if you got some parsley, but I sure
And
don't.
Like y'all hit it right on the
No
head. It
need.
is. It's the way that you really like assess yourself, but then also that's the way that you show up for yourself.
Sure.
That's the way that you really view
Mhm.
yourself. And maybe even how you can affect others.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a part of self esteem as well. And so then with that, do y'all personally, because I want to get in your business early, do you personally have positive or negative self-esteem?
I'd say today I'll have more personal.
Today.
Yes, it's been a process because I've become more like comfortable with like who I am and like taking control of who I want to be. So it's like when you reach that point, your self-esteem kind of goes higher than as opposed to when we're trying to figure everything out. Then you're like, should I be who I want to be or what I want to do? That kind of like could negatively affect your self-esteem.
Got it.
Hmm.
Okay. So you're pretty positive today.
Yeah, today.
Love that.
I love the today part.
Today,
Today.
right?
That's
I'm
so
like,
real. That's so.
Bernie
that's
says
so true.
tonight. Okay, but no stalling. Your turn. Joseph.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow the same model. Today, I feel positive. Those are the only choices: positive, negative.
Hey, give us the spectrum.
Positive. Period.
Mhm.
I want to say so much.
Go deep.
No.
No, I'll just say positive. I think one of the things that influences that is how much I feel like I can get accomplished in a day, or since we're doing the daily, how much I feel I can get accomplished in a day, as opposed to how much of myself I dedicate to those things to get those things accomplished, so that I can be maybe free of having to do so much the next day, so to speak. So, yeah, positive. Today.
Love to hear it. Similar to y'all, it depends on how I'm feeling that day. Like some days I feel like I'm the shit, like I'm unstoppable, and then some days I'm like, I just kind of question myself. So, especially like living in a world like it's like social media, it's so much going on. Like you said, you see people your age or somebody younger than you doing so much. You like, damn, like I wanted to do that, but I'm not where I want to be. So, so it depends on the day, honestly.
And very similar, Marvin. It depends on the day. Like for the most part, my days I'm pretty positive. Like I've had years of negative self-esteem, so it's like, wow, I am the shit.
Love to hear it.
And it's like, and I don't even have to prove that to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
That's the key.
you know what I mean? But yeah, it's again because I am human. I do have days where I'm just like, fuck you, me. Fuck you.
It's the me part.
Like legit, because that's very, very human. And so I like that. So today, a few of us are positive. I think we're all positive today.
Today, yeah, we are.
But we acknowledge that balance. So then my question for y'all would be, when did you realize self-esteem was important? Because it is important, period, right? Because I give y'all time to ponder. I got you.
Thank you.
Self-esteem is definitely important. So I'm not even going to ask, like, do you think it's important?
Right.
No, it's fucking
It is.
important.
Yeah.
The way you view yourself is important. So, like, when did you realize it was important?
I honestly can't pinpoint a specific time where I like realized it was super important. But once I got more in tune with kind of like my answer before, once I got more in tune with like who I want to be or like how I was, that's when I realized, oh, I should probably start thinking this way to get what I want or do a certain thing to get to where I want to be. So that part kind of really just got myself together.
Okay.
So I was bullied a lot growing up. And like I have memories from summer camp and elementary school, even into high school. And I think the turning point was when, because I know how I vibrate and I know what I bring to a space, period, always. And so humbly, I'm like, I'm filled with so much love and compassion, and I just want genuine relationships with people that
Right.
appreciate, you know, like a little reciprocity. Like these are my thoughts at like 11.
Mhm.
Who was I? And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm bullied, right? I'm bullied. But I was the shit, but I just hadn't tapped into my star player, as Cat Williams would say. And so I think one of the changes for me was when I realized, like, damn, I'm worth a little something in return. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like being mishandled, as I'm sure none of us do.
Mhm.
But, you know, we do go through those types of experiences growing up. And I'm like, I'm not getting enough in return. Something has to change. And so I'm like, maybe is it me? You know, we don't be trying to think that we the issue, but I'm like, maybe it's something that I'm doing or that I'm not doing. So I learned how to say no. And I've been saying no ever since. I've been saying no ever since.
Okay.
For me, when I realized how important it was, I would say it's probably around like middle school, like high school. And kind of what you were saying, I wasn't really bullied a lot, but like I feel like I was always like, you know, like funny or like outspoken. So when someone else would come into like my space, like I felt like they were like funnier than me, or like people wasn't laughing at my jokes, but they were like laughing at his. I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit insecure. So I think I figured out insecurity first, and then I realized like, okay, I gotta like, you know,
Oh, he's not even that funny.
exactly like, oh, a little hurt, a little
Y'all
jealous.
laughed at that. You weak at that.
But low-key, it was funny, but I'm not laughing. I'm like, because I was awesome. But so I think I figured out insecurities first, and then I'm like, okay, like I feel uncomfortable, like, you know, someone outshining me. Then I kind of grew into like a little bit more self-esteem. Like, it's okay to share the same space with
It's
somebody
okay.
else,
Yeah.
and let them get their shine too. So.
Yeah. So for me, it was around 6th grade.
Mhm.
So what had happened was I was fat as shit. I was definitely well into my glasses. And so my OG was buying the super cheap glasses. Wasn't getting haircuts, man. I was fucked up. I was busted, okay? Acne, round little motherfucker, bad haircuts, hand-me-down clothes, all that shit. And so just when I thought life couldn't get worse, my mom was just like, you don't do shit. This is 6th grade. So she's like, you need to find an after-school program to be in, or I'm going to put you in the chess club. And that was the moment I was like, I can be a fucking loser. You know what I mean? Like legit, which is crazy because now I love chess. And I've realized some of the smartest people in the world play chess. But back then I'm like, yo, I'm fucking fugly. Like I'm fucking huge. And now you want me to be on the chess team? What in the Harry Potter is this? You know what I mean? And so like that was the moment I was like, holy shit, like I could be more fucked up. I could be fucked up. Like I started to pay attention to my image and the way that I view myself. And so instead I decided to go out to try out for the basketball team. And then I was horrible, but I had good spirit. Because I was kind of athletic still. I was just fat. Yeah, it's some big athletic niggas. You know what I mean? I was one of those. I just wasn't good yet. And so like I would have so many back and forths with my teammates who would just be like, oh, you only on the team because like your mama work at the school and all this other shit, where I can't say I was being bullied because people know I had jokes and I had fucking hands. But but it was like, nah, that was affecting me too. And so yeah, that's when I started to realize self-esteem was important, because I felt like I was catching it from my mom in a way. And then I was catching it from myself with just the way I viewed, the way I looked in that time with being on a chess team. And then I went out for basketball and people was just telling me like, no, I'm not good enough even for this. Like I only got it because of my mama. So like that was the moment I realized like, yo, if I don't think highly of myself, shit could go left. Like legit. And so yeah, that's a good segue to the very next question. I just love when it works out that way. Oh, that fucked me up one episode too. And I heard it just going to, okay. Anyway, so this is then like, can y'all recall a story? Or can y'all tell a story about a time where other people really help boost the way you think about yourself? Right, because I just gave a story about how so many people were negatively affecting me, which made me start to negatively affect me. Like, what about y'all teams? What about y'all homies? Can y'all remember a time where other people really help boost the way you look at yourself?
looks around room.
Perspective.
His stories.
Blame it on the alcohol.
Yeah, so y'all get one do tequila shots, tequila drinks. Yeah, I can do a recent time if you want to.
Piping hot tea, guys. Let's go. We love it fresh.
Please relax. You probably know what I'm going to say.
I do.
Once I started working out and getting back healthy and getting myself together, and I'll get the comments of when I do like a before and after, people like will gas me up more, or like
I commented.
he also commented.
I did
Our
comment.
guest- our
I did
guest-
comment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
but-
lovely guest here commented on my Facebook. I was like, ooh.
Commented.
But even the people that are commented on like the before and be like, oh, you weren't even that, you didn't look that bad and stuff like that. Like even that kind of helps, because back then, you know, before you're trying to like transform or do something, you're always thinking more down on yourself. Like, damn, I'm fat as hell. When you might not be that fat, but you're like bigger than you're usually like used to being. So you'll feel a way about that. Yeah, that's my story.
Let's go. Damn.
You guys,
Fellas,
I can take it away if you ain't got. Okay, I got you. So mine was, I was in high school, and I was never a bad kid, but an incident happened where I almost got kicked out of school. And,
okay.
Gas. So I almost got kicked out of school, and so like kind of a couple years down the road, I was like a little bit more involved. I started running track. I started taking my grades a little bit more seriously, and me and my counselor, that kind of fought for me. My mom counselor, my dean, she fought for me to stay in school, but I thought like, okay, she was just doing her job at the time. But one day she had sent me a letter like after one of my track meets, and it was just like giving me so much praise, and I thought we were cool, but I never talked to her like that much. But after that, like it made me feel so good. Like she was just praising me, like, I'm so proud of you, how you turn things around. You taking your grades more serious, like you like with your athletics, like you're doing amazing. And that meant like the world to me. Like she passed away my freshman year of college, and I was like heartbroken, because I never like got to go back and visit her, you know, being like, okay, give her updates. So, but that meant like literally the world to me when she when I got that letter. It was like so unexpected too. When she actually came to my meet and gave it to me, I was like, oh, thank you. So yeah, that was mine.
A team.
Oh, God.
That's why you can't get too personal.
I love that.
They be fucking with me. I have no idea why they pick on me.
Because somebody came here and said Marv was the most chill out of the three of us. He's really one of the most ignorant.
Look, I am. Just look around the room,
Wow, shots? Oh, I got shots, but you know,
I don't know.
it's all right.
excluding Joseph because he's not.
I'm okay with me not being the most chill in the group, but I can't say that you are the most chill, Marv. It's okay. We're gonna expose the truth.
Okay. If you know, you know.
Joseph.
I think probably high school is when I formed, like, I'm still really like best of friends with people that I went to high school with. And that's where I solidified a lot of like strong teenage, like I'm my own person, these types of relationships outside of, oh, we're just in the same 5th grade class. So in high school, I got to my high school late in like October. So school had already started, clearly. So I was there by myself. I had moved to another city and I didn't know anybody. And I just remember the first class I went to, which was 7th period algebra. And the bully was actually in that class, but the girls were so, and it wasn't even like, wow, who was this nigga? Like, we gotta woo woo. It was just like a lot of sincere love that I got from the women that I did not get from the niggas. And so I had a lot of guys really upset with me in high school because I was really cool with they chicks. But y'all, you know, for whatever reason, y'all was some haters. So, you know, these are my friends. And so, you know, I think women, the thing I love about a black woman is that they will give a compliment
They sure will.
Show
They will compliment the shit out of you.
And I look at pictures from back in the day, and I'm like,
Damn.
Now I ain't need no
put some
compliment.
clothes on,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really know what I was doing on the fashion side, to be honest. But they thought I was cute and they thought I was funny, and I had attention on me anyway, being the newer kid.
Mhm.
So I would say high school. I would say high school. They came through for the boy. Yeah.
Okay. Yo, it's so many because people have affirmed me so much of my life. Like, just to be completely honest, even if I didn't see it in myself. And so I guess the time where people had boosted my self-esteem the most, this was after I had auditioned for this play. It's a contest play. So in high school you could do competitive theater.
Mhm.
And so I auditioned for this play and I had to sing. And so I've always sung in the shower, best concerts ever. And one of my dreams was to be a entertainer, you know what I mean? And so now here I am entertaining right in the face. And so I look at the script and we're going through it because I had already got the role. And I see the music notes in my little piece and I tried to talk it real smoothly. and my theater coach, Mama Nezzy, bless her heart, she let me talk it, all that. She said, "Ooh, that was real smooth, but you still gotta sing, baby." Y'all, my heart was in my asshole. Granted, I always wanted to sing. I was so nervous. And then I was just like, fuck it. Here it go. And after I sang, it was a silence, and I was like, "Oh fuck, it was terrible." And when my theater director took her glasses off and said, "You tried to fucking play me," and she just started to affirm just how well I did, and she actually admired my voice. And the other people was like, "Damn, you can actually sing!" And I was just like, "What? You like me? You really like me?" That right there solidified to me, I'm gonna be a fucking fool for the rest of my life. The stage is where I belong. My first time singing in front of people, and they really fucked with it.
These stories.
I know. So it was legit. It was a moment. So let's keep going. So thinking about all of these stories, right? Because I'm just feeling good about it all over again, and I'm thinking about how we feel when we are affirmed, and that really builds our confidence. And so, do y'all believe you can be too confident? Is that a thing to be too confident?
Guys, well, I think it's a fine line between being too confident and not confident at all. It's definitely a balance. It's difference between exuding confidence and being "Oh, I'm the best person ever." It's you can show confidence without walking in the room and being "Oh, guys, I'm here."
Hear me roar.
So it's definitely a fine line.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Mhm.
I would agree. But how does one measure confidence?
Mhm.
It's a harder question than people think.
Because that's all
I'm just
yeah.
Who's to say that I
That
get
you're
the
being
vanity
too
piece?
that you're being too confident.
Sure. But I think when you get to a point of a little vanity, well, you may not even know. But I don't really have a straight answer. I don't really have a straight answer, but I feel like confidence is one of those things that's on a spectrum anyway.
Yeah.
In a way.
Hey, I love when we don't have an answer. We're like, it's on a spectrum.
It's a spectrum, though.
That's all I'm just saying.
It really depends on how you're looking at it.
I think we
and how
all
you're
look at it
calculating.
differently.
Because you be seeing both ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're going to pass it to
Yeah,
you.
I'll take it away. Let's take it away,
pass to
Mark.
Mark.
I think that sometimes you can be too confident. And I know, like you said, how can you really measure it? But I think you have to be realistic in certain situations. Like when you feel like you're well prepared for certain things and like you feel like that boost of confidence, okay, you understand like why. Whatever it is, like you study for a test or, you know, whatever. Because you have like, you know, I did my part, so I feel confident in my ability to produce. But if you know, like you going to something like just completely random or honestly, if you shooting your shot at somebody that it's out of your league, whatever, like you just winging it, you shouldn't be overconfident. Like expect certain things in return. That's not being silly, but in realistic, like if you just, you know, like winging things, like I feel like you just can't be. You gotta be realistic about it. Yeah.
So like, I don't think there's a such thing as being too confident. Like the way that you view yourself, especially when you can back it up, is like, no, I'm not too confident. Like you may not be used to my confidence. So I think it depends on the person. Like I may make you uncomfortable because I truly believe in myself. Like y'all, I had an evaluation at a job once. Mind you, I was at the end of the first quarter, I was already completing third quarter goals. And then in my evaluation, they wrote, you know, like you're a bit too cocky. And I was just like, one, this is not something you put in an eval. But two, I definitely took that shit to HR. Did. Okay. But two is like, no, I'm not too cocky. I'm fucking confident. Y'all want me going around my city motivationally speaking and encouraging my youth, because y'all got me in front of little black and brown people. It's a few whites here and there, but like y'all really got me in front of the blacks and browns. Like, oh, I'm not cocky. This is my shit. I live here. This is my domain. So like, no, I'm not too confident. Like, I know I'm gonna kill this shit. Like, so yes, I don't think you can be too confident, but I do think you can be fucking cocky. So yeah, so I don't think you can be too confident, but you can absolutely be too fucking cocky. And the word that I don't like too much, but you can actually be arrogant. And so the question for the floor is, what's the difference in being cocky versus being confident? That's how you know it's a good question. But yeah, because I do think there's a thin line, but like you can cross that line. Most people cross that fucking line. So I want to know, what do y'all believe? Like, what do y'all see to be the difference in being cocky and confident?
I'm not sure this is the right answer, but cocky could be seen as like showing off assets or thing about yourself. Well, one way it could be showing off things or assets about yourself that could be clear to other people, but confidence could be like, I could walk in the room and it could like just bounce off me. I don't have to be like, I am here, I'm that nigga, like bow down bitches. Like
'Tis me, I have arrived.
Yeah, but I feel like that's one example.
Okay, no, I like that. I like that.
I think one of the main differences would be when you become selfish. I think that
the potty is the podcast version of amen. Okay, say that. You preach it.
I think when you become selfish with being confident, you know that you can get a task done. You know that you can persuade an audience. Like you are aware of your talents and your giftings and your abilities. And I think even with confidence, you still are mindful of having a space that's shared. As opposed to cocky, it's absolutely kind of like a disregard for other people else in space, in whatever the space is. So selfishness.
Marv,
I love what y'all said. Look at y'all.
What's going on here right now?
I was gonna sit down. I just want to hear cocky. I think you just rub people the wrong way. Like with you, like you're not, you know, you can do such and such. Like you just, like you said, you boasting about it. And like when you confident, people are gonna like, you know, probably gonna hate on you anyway. But when you cocky, like you just literally like, you just get off an order that's not really like, like you just doing too much. You said you selfish. Like it's all about you. Like you sometimes like you belittle other people. So it's like it just, you really just like kind of give off the wrong vibe and message to people.
I like that. So I think there's two things that separates being cocky from being confident. One is when you're braggadocious. Like it's one thing if you're asked, what do you do? And you tell me all that you do. You were asked. But it's another where I ask you a simple question, just like, oh, how's your day going? Oh, it's going really well because I'm an entrepreneur. And so when I sell all of these things, and then I'm also in school, so I got that going on. And then I got 3 girlfriends. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. We didn't ask that. So when you feel the need to brag about what you do, I think that teeters the fence of you being more cocky. And then another is when it is empty. So when you talk about, your high school days, when you talk about things that cannot be backed or supported with evidence, it's like, I'm not going to say you're lying, but when you're talking about things that cannot be merged, it just cannot be supported by anything. It's like, nah, now this is a bit too cocky for me. Everybody was the star football player. So y'all was just all stars but no championships. Oh, okay.
No, where are the receipts? I need receipts.
Legit. Oh, everybody was you fucked everybody in high school. That's why nobody talks to you now. None of them. No one remembers you even went to the school. Got it. You know what I mean? Oh, you was the man in college. You didn't even get your degree. Oh, okay. So look, we can go there. Y'all was the greatest chap. Never mind. So,
we trying to hurt feelings.
Not for real. It's just because look, I believe in building my people up. There is nothing wrong with confidence, but don't be out here lying and don't believe the lie, and then don't lie to people who wasn't around to see it, and so now this is their only truth. No, fuck that. That is straight up cocky. That is not confident at all. If it was confidence, they'd be able to see it without you saying it. Blame it on the goose. Got you feeling loose. We need more red cups, guys. More cups at these episodes. So that takes me to my next point. How do you deflate an ego? Because it is needed and it is necessary. So when people have crossed that line to being cocky, how do you deflate one's ego?
Ooh, they might not like that too much.
Shake a table or two.
The table gotta be shook and flipped over.
Joseph done this before.
As he takes a sip,
take a sip, shut it down.
Gonna take it away.
In school, my favorite subject was math. So I believe in products and methods and receipts.
Show me the receipts.
Essentially. And I'm not an anxious person. I'm not an argumentative person, but I am a confrontational person. There's a difference. The blacks don't know that. They need to.
The blacks.
And so I always try to take a very practical strategic route, because I want my words to linger. I want a real Selah. Do you feel me? And so I'm not one to really argue, but what I will do is
trying to find the words, guys.
He's trying to find the words. Because you see the situation and now you're trying to tell yourself, how do I say this? Y'all really got to watch this episode on YouTube. It's the facial expression.
You've been here before.
He is thinking of the exact moment. He's like, now, let me put it in best words.
How do I say it's the best words? Right.
Not disrespect my brand, not disrespect the black people in the room, but thinking of all of those things. But one of the things I like to pull receipts, and I'm a person of communication. So I like to just have all types of conversations, period. So I know how to intrigue a person in conversation. I know how to be a good listener if I wanted to. And I know how to make you think I'm not paying attention to you. So I use a lot of nonverbals.
Yes.
I learned the importance of those really early.
Yeah, I say that.
And I use a lot of nonverbals. Of course, like these days, you can just have somebody on read and then just go about your day. And that's it. But I try to keep it really tactful. Really tactful. You know my type of flow. Really to where, like I said, I want you to remember what I said, and I want you to feel what I said, even when I'm not here anymore.
This shit worked.
You take
before.
your
This
morning.
worked. This
Go and
worked
take your
before.
morning pee. That motherfucker Joseph did say.
Like, wait a second.
Okay.
Aha. I think I know what
You watching the
That's all
game
I'm
and you
saying.
like,
That's all I'm
damn,
saying.
Okay,
I'm thinking too fast.
did this nigga really tell me?
Oh, I'm done.
You had a red light listening to your music and shit. That motherfucker Joseph.
No,
Fucking
he
days up
didn't.
later. Damn, you fucking the next day up, next week's up.
Real talk. You at the altar. You damn, this man did say.
I did do him wrong.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's silly.
Birth of your first child and shit. Why Joseph say all that? I ain't even like that.
Please.
I'm sorry, Marvin. Please start talking.
Nah, not the child though.
Oh my god. It's the cup.
I'm gonna drink to that. Go ahead. I'm gonna drink to that.
Marvin, how do you
Honestly,
deflate one's
okay.
ego? Or how do you deflate your own ego if you're not one to, bust people's bubble?
Yeah, I'm not one to bust people bubble. Like when I realize somebody around me has a big ego, I can't tolerate it. Like I will mess with you in like bits and pieces here and there, or I'm just arm's length. Like I can be casual with you or cordial, but like I can't. Y'all can't do it, yeah, because like I just know like it's gonna rub me the wrong way eventually. But honestly, how do I deflate my ego? It's honestly people around me that keep me centered. Like I feel like some of my closest friends have definitely told me I was acting out of pocket. Like, and it's not like I'm gonna tell you later on. It's like I'm gonna tell you at the moment. And I'm like, damn. Like we in a whole kickback. Like we partying. Like you fuck
real,
my whole
Marv,
family for the rest
honestly.
of- literally like
This what we doing tonight?
Like, okay, yeah, let me see.
You acting real
Hey,
different.
my favorite.
It's like 30 minutes later, I'm still thinking about it. Like, damn.
My favorite niggas be like, damn, you killed the whole fifth to yourself, damn near nigga. Like, damn, G, I guess I am drinking too much.
Chill, bro.
Like-
Yeah, so
Yo, so likewise on the friends helps me remain like humble because like I definitely have friends who are just like, all right, nigga. You ain't even doing all the shit you said you was gonna do. Relax. However, where we differ is like because in so many moments in my life, people have deflated my ego. Like I have certain friends who take joy and like, you getting too cocky. So it's like I also take that joy in doing that to other people. So like, please,
waiting for the moment. Waiting.
do not try to fucking flex in a conversation with me around. Like it's one thing you that shit validated, you did it, it can be backed. By all means, I'ma gas you because you did that shit. But ooh, don't you inflate that shit. Oh, don't you put too much sauce on your fucking story because now I want the ingredients. How? How?
How
that
happened?
Oh, when that happened? I've
thought I
known
was
you
there
since
for real.
2012. When you do that?
Too much dip on your chip.
Too much dip on your chip, and I will step on your bag.
Now you got crumbs.
Crush them shits. No nachos, nigga, because it's nachos. Fuck you lying for.
Talking about I was there.
Yes.
It didn't happen like that.
Oh, I love a good I was there.
I was there.
Oh.
Is that how it went down? What was I doing? Because I was there.
Was I texting?
right there.
I know I was texting when
I
that
must have
happened.
been in
but-
conversation.
You text me. Remember? I saved your life that day.
Listen, I'm for real. I love to do that to people because it's like, y'all, is no reason to be lying.
At all.
Which I get it. Like we had reasons to lie, but now at this age group and that's where I'm at with my life and where my friends are, we ain't gotta lie no more.
Like,
So please don't do the most. Like, and we know when you telling a story because I'm an elaborate storyteller. I can do that. I love a good story, but when you didn't change the whole circumstance and the scenario, all right, nigga, you lying. That ain't how it happened, and I don't mind saying that.
I don't.
So don't tell your lies around me, true player for real. Ask my nigga for real. Hey, I will bust your goddamn bubble. Situation.
will arise.
Stupid.
And you lied, nigga. You gotta be smart about it.
Oh my god!
All right, fuck this. Let's wrap this up because we're all over the place. All right, so let's wrap this up. What advice then do y'all have for someone who like lacks self-esteem but want to improve? All right, so they're just like, damn, I guess I don't see myself, in the light that I would like to. So what advice do you have for that person?
One thing I would say is to improve your self-esteem, kind of just take a good look in the mirror and kind of just figure out 1, 2, 3 things you want to like work on and try to improve and try to tackle those things day by day. It don't got to be all at once, but as long as you're making like progress and stuff, that should build your self-esteem. Because once you like check something off your checklist, you're like, ooh, I did that. Let's go next thing. And that will really help boost your self-esteem, like overall morale, I think.
I would say, so I wanted to do the practical route as well. And then also, of course, the spiritual route.
Yeah.
Be mindful of that. And I'm a research type of person. So when I think about growing up in Black church and being told that we are this, or it being said that we have this, and all the isms that you all are, you know about. I'm like, there was a point where I was like, but am I? Like, where is that? Like, what that do? You know what I'm saying? So in one part of my life, I had to do some research. I had to find out why I was worthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, why I was more than enough. And then, of course, we know, like, all throughout social media and just media itself, how us Black men are portrayed, even Black women are portrayed. And I'm like, this can't be right. And so what I would say to, like, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? But what I would say to a person is, I do agree. Look in the mirror. I will also say that affirmations go really far. I think, and especially like all of us being in the same age bracket. So we came up in an age educationally where affirmations were built into like the curriculum kind of, and like summer camp and those types of things. So I want to say so much, but
speak on it. You took mine, so do your shit. Okay. I was like, ooh, affirmations gonna kill him. He was like, affirmations. I said, well, shit. What are y'all doing? No, do your thing. You the guest.
But I think the people that you are around is important. I think, what you have the nerve to believe of yourself is important.
The nerve. We need an organ. We just need the nerve.
It takes, in 2020, we all know what we've all been encountering this year alone. It takes some show enough unmitigated gall to believe in yourself.
It does.
Like, I'm sure we've all encountered some sort of trauma this year, some sort of depression, maybe not, some form, and I think it really starts with, so I'm training to be a therapist. So, I'm going to go back to the home unit.
Come on, go to it. Go to
it. The home unit, it has to be in a certain position, but I think that's where it starts. I think it starts with being around and whatever home is, because we should all have a safe space. And so
that's a collection plate.
Speak on it.
I think, like the people, making sure you're around the right people, the affirmations, the practicality of it all, and just believing that you can go every day. And I really believe in being practical. I love God, of course, and I love all things kingdom. And actually, practicality and sustainability, those are things of the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And so it's important to make it very, especially for children, since that's who we are grooming. It's important to, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna slow down.
Oh, it's
you gonna say I'm midpoint? Not midpoint.
He said y'all gonna invite me back for season 3. I'm gonna give you a cliffhanger.
I forgot I was on the podcast. I was listening. I want to hear this shit. I was in the audience. I was listening.
Peer
Go ahead.
pressure.
Seeing
You
really
gonna
far, and I was
No,
trying to
no,
bring my
no.
words back to
I thought I was in the audience.
He gonna take us to church and just walk off. Cause God. All right, see you next week.
I would say really for real. One of the bigger things is just knowing that you matter. I think that us all being here, one of the first things that we learn is that we're here on purpose, whether we believe it or not.
Mhm.
You know, of course, all things go back to God. So nothing is by happenstance. You know what I'm saying? And so just believing that you have something to contribute, I say, to keep it real small.
God damn. You did that. You did that.
Okay.
You
What a
did
guest.
That. Mitigated gall. My goodness. Well, how do you follow that, Mark?
Okay,
Yeah, Mark.
I would attempt to.
Got anything to
Go
say?
ahead.
Y'all went crazy. I love it though. I love everything y'all said. But, if I did have to add anything, I guess. I guess.
This is what it would be.
Honestly, but everything y'all said, I love it. But all 4 of us said it too. Like, we have those days when we just kind of off.
Yeah.
Just be realistic. Like, it's a process. You're gonna have your up days, your down days. But like you said, just keep consistent. Like, don't give up on yourself. It's just literally just that simple. And everything else that was said before.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess just to add, put a little parsley on it.
little
Got some
razzle-dazzle.
parsley. It's like, you know, you have to come to terms that like nothing happens to you. It all happens for you. You just got to figure out why. And so as you start to figure out why those things happen, it will start to make more sense. Nothing happens to you. It all happens for you.
Wow.
You just have to figure out why. And because as you start to put those whys together, you said, damn, God put me through that for this reason right here. Then you'll realize your life actually does have purpose. Because we can say it, but you have to have the moment when it clicks. And those why moments is when it click. And once it do, you just click it a ticket. You just go for the ride. You know what I mean? You just go for the ride now, okay? Let's roll, friends. So with that's where we are going to park it right there.
What is that?
Okay, because we love a good metaphor. No, this was just a fucking amazing episode. Again, Joseph, shout out to what you just brought. Like you,
Shout out
Y'all
to
give my
y'all.
claps.
yes, right. No,
Bad
for real.
applause.
We truly appreciate you for pulling up, man. You just did the damn thing. And so, like, how can people find you? Like, we're gonna put it in the comments too, but in case you want to say it, like, how can people connect?
Okay. On Facebook, and I have to make this emphasis because they haven't taken my first Facebook page down. I'm Joseph L. Clark. But when you go to type my current Facebook page, Joseph, as you're typing the Clark, the L one gonna drop down.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the one. It's just the Joseph Clark. It's still up there for some reason. I don't understand it. But I'm Joseph Clark on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm Joseph Lewis Clark, JOSEPHLEWIS, not OU, LEWISCLARK. And on Twitter, I am Who Is This Joseph?
Okay,
That's what it is.
so if y'all like what he was saying, follow him. He cool, especially on Twitter. Like Facebook, I can't tell y'all he gonna follow y'all, add y'all, whatever, because some of y'all don't be having profile pictures. But definitely call him, tweet him if you want to reach him.
Okay.
So with that, we are going to end the episode because now I am out of control. So as always, the world is sick,
But good conversation is the cure.
and we are
Peace.
out.
Sick. I gotta.